We just got our first new reMarkable device in 4 years, and it's not the reMarkable 3. It's the reMarkable Paper Pro. There's a ton to unpack about this new device, and in this video, I'm going to share everything you need to know about the newly announced reMarkable Paper Pro. But before we get into that, if you're new around here, welcome. My name is Brandon. I'm a product designer who loves helping people improve their focus and creativity. And I use devices like the reMarkable to slow down, write out my thoughts, and create thoughtful apps. I'm currently building Playlist, which is a digital planner that understands that the modern human has a lot going on, and life is much more than just work. Playlist enables you to stay on top of key things while still creating space to focus on the things that truly matter. I just released it in beta a handful of weeks ago, and I'd love your help in testing and shaping where it goes. If that sounds interesting to you, tap on the link down in the description below to join the beta. All right, let's get into it. So what is the reMarkable Paper Pro, and what makes it interesting? Well, at the end of the day, it's a bigger, faster, more premium reMarkable. The standout marketing feature is the fact that it now has color, and a good crowd favorite is the fact that there is now an adjustable front light for the first time in a reMarkable. But I think the thing that's perhaps more interesting is that it's not claiming to be a different experience. It is the same reMarkable experience that you know and perhaps love. I think they're kind of banking on that, but now with color and in a larger workspace. So to give you a feel for the size difference between the reMarkable Paper Pro and the reMarkable 2, let's go to my early pre-production prototype. Here it is in its full 11.8-inch glory, the reMarkable Paper Pro. And I need to go ahead and say that this reMarkable feels way more like paper than the reMarkable 2 ever did. I don't know what they did differently, but the feel is just crazy. Here is the difference in size between the reMarkable 2 and the reMarkable Paper Pro. And you'll see that that adds up pretty quickly. If you have an existing reMarkable, I think the easiest way to think about it is think about the full dimensions of your reMarkable 2, and those are pretty much the dimensions of the screen on the reMarkable Paper Pro. The other piece to be aware of is with the color aspect of this device. There are plenty of color e-ink devices, but this one is a little bit different. Every e-ink device that you've seen that's in color up to this point is based on this technology called Kaleido. And what it does is it uses color filtering to generate the full spectrum of color. It's not very full spectrum, and in my opinion, color ink just really hasn't been there yet. But today is a new day. reMarkable has a new screen technology that they're calling Canvas Color. Think of this a bit like how Apple creates their own custom screens as well. In this case, it's a screen based on the Gallery 3 technology from e-ink, which has existed for quite some time, but it's been reserved for use cases that were slow in nature and not as fast-paced as writing on paper. reMarkable has custom engineered this version of it to get the latency down. reMarkable's claiming 12 millisecond response time, which is 40% faster than the reMarkable 2, which is good because the reMarkable was starting to feel a little sluggish by today's e-ink standards. The potential upside with the new screen technology is true CMYK color without color filtering. And I'm really excited to see how this works in the wild. What's interesting is reMarkable is only claiming 9 colors for writing and sketching, so they're not going to give you custom color blending. But they are claiming full spectrum color when using a PDF or an ebook. It's a little tough to know for sure based on any of the marketing materials they've done because all of the colors are heavily dithered in all of those screenshots, and there's a ton of film grain on everything. So I'll be really excited to see what that actually looks like in person in a handful of days. All right, let's get into the spec differences between this and the reMarkable 2. We already covered the 11.8-inch screen versus 10.3. But there are a couple other key changes. It is a little bit thicker, jumping to 5.3 millimeters up from 4.7 millimeters. It has a built-in front light, which is a huge win for people who want to be able to read from their bed and have one device to do everything. There's obviously no Kindle bookstore or Android apps on the reMarkable, so if you're a Kindle user, you're probably still a little out of luck, but if you're willing to use PDFs or ebooks, this potentially could be an all-in-one device for you. The other big changes are we're going from 8 gigabytes of internal storage to 64 gigabytes, which is a huge change. I never bumped into the 8 gigabyte limit before, but I especially won't at 64. We also get a pretty good processor bump We go from 1.2 gigahertz dual core up to 1.8 gigahertz quad core, and we double our memory from 1 gigabytes to 2 gigabytes, but perhaps more importantly, it's going from DDR3 RAM to DDR4 RAM, which should make a big difference in throughput. Battery capacity jumps from 3,000 milliamp hours to 5,000 milliamp hours, but I think in practice, it's probably going to be a bit of a wash or perhaps actually slightly worse battery life, assuming that the color screen is going to use up more battery along with that stronger processor. Going back to where I started this video, I think at its core, it's the same platform, just upgraded with color, speed, a front light, and a slightly bigger footprint to give you more real estate to work. But along with that change in size is the need for new accessories. Something you'll immediately notice with the new reMarkable is a different stylus and a different tip. One that more closely resembles the Apple Pencil, which I find really interesting. They're claiming a more paper-like experience here. I hope that that's true, but we'll have to wait and see on that. With that new footprint means new folios, so we get a new type folio that will use up that full 11.8 inch size. That means now we get a full-size shift key this time around, and we also get a new refine button, which I'm excited to see how that works once we actually get it in our hands. We also get a bunch of new book folios in new colors. We have leather, and we have this new fine woven knit. Again, following Apple's lead a little bit here, but I think these look pretty good. And there's another shot of this here. I don't think this actually has gold lettering. I think this is just the coloring of the light that they used, but it would be cool if it actually did have gold lettering. And then the other big change here is they gave a magnetic strap to ensure that you don't lose your stylus, which the current book folio does not have, but some of the other devices do. Like the books, for example, has a folio that's just like this one. Let's go ahead and talk about cost and whether it's worth the upgrade. So I think the first thing we should get out of the way is the reMarkable 2 isn't going anywhere. It'll be sticking around. It'll have a slightly lower price point starting at $379, with the reMarkable Paper Pro headlining the lineup at $579 with the basic marker and $629 with the marker plus. I think for existing reMarkable users who are still using their device every day, that $579 is probably an easy number to jump on board with, especially if you've started to feel the age of your existing reMarkable 2. For new users who've never used a reMarkable before, $629 is a lot of money to get started. I'm curious to see the numbers on how many new purchasers start with the reMarkable 2 and then upgrade to the reMarkable Paper Pro versus how many people just jump straight to the reMarkable Paper Pro. The last thing we should probably cover are the new features that this device enables, which are file encryption and secure boot. A longtime criticism of the reMarkable 2 has been the fact that you couldn't encrypt the file system. All of the files were readily available if someone were to load that device up in Linux or shell into it in some way. And I think for those people who are in a corporate environment where this is ultra critical, I think this opens this device up to a whole new audience of people. That is everything I know about the reMarkable Paper Pro. But I'm curious, what are your thoughts? Is it a worthwhile upgrade over the reMarkable 2 for you and your workflow? Let me know down in the comments. And while you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you'd like to support the channel further, you can do so over on Patreon. A huge thank you to all the members who make this channel possible. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, cheers.